Hello YouTube, welcome to the garage. Working on a lawnmower today and been busy lately, but I hadn't had anything really exciting to share with anybody, just mundane stuff. And this I thought was going to be the same thing. Had a push mower and this riding mower that I had to do spring service on, oil change, air filter, new blades, that kind of stuff, just your basics. And I ran across something rather interesting with this mower. Okay, it's a Murray at M175-42, so it's a 17.5 Briggs engine, single cylinder, Murray. And I just figured this is one of the MTD produced, mass produced kind of things. Craftsman, Cub, the Cub Cadet, Murray, MTD, all of them are basically the same, and most of them are made in the same factory. And I had to put new belts on it, the deck belt, change the oil and filter and stuff in the air filter and stuff in the engine, new spark plug. But I come across something rather interesting in this. I anticipated a single drive belt for the mower deck, which it has, a single drive belt. And then, every single mower like this, unless you get up into the actual lawn tractors, is driven by a single belt that runs from a pulley on the engine to a pulley on the transaxle. Well, this is different. This has two belts between the engine and the transaxle. It's what they call it, the lower transmission belt and the upper transmission belt. And so, like I said, I personally have never seen one like this, and talked to a couple of friends of mine, they never have either, but obviously they make them. And just a cursory search, I didn't see any videos on it, so I kind of want to walk you through. I figured out how to change it, so I kind of want to show you what it looks like and how I went about well, actually I'm going about changing them. What I did is I figured out how to do it. I couldn't find any instructions, and I'll show you what I figured out, and maybe someone come up with a better idea how to do it. By all means, if you do, drop a link in the comments or let us know, share it. Like I said, I'm just trying to help anybody out, because I said I'd never seen this before. So all right, so obviously I have the deck off of it. You have to take the deck off. This one came off like any other deck, so this isn't a video about changing taking the deck off or changing the belt. There's gazillions of videos about that, so I'm not going to make another one. And again, with the single belt underneath the drive the transaxle, there's gazillions of those. So I wasn't planning on making a video, but like I said, I found this one has two belts. So let me show you what it looks like. And and when you're working on this, make sure you lock the clutch brake down here, because that will put slack in the belt underneath. So I've already got that locked down. And let me get you under here, get you situated where you can see what we're looking at. Let me see what you're seeing. Okay, all right, there's the front pulley. I said the bottom pulley is the one that runs the deck. Then that upper one, I think you can see that without a light. See, that's in that top pulley, and that runs all the way back to here. Okay, but look here, there's another belt up here, and it goes around a pulley right here, and then I'll show you there's a pulley behind it, and that's the pulley that's actually on top of the transaxle that actually runs it. This is just an idler pulley, this here, and I think it has something to do with the range selection. This is kind of like a torque converter on a like a snowmobile, just infinitely variable speed. I think that's just my guess. The faster you go, the higher up the belt rides in this groove. I think that's how it works, and that's how how you get the different speeds out of it, slow, fast, that kind of stuff. But like I said, I had never seen two belts. It was always just the belt went straight back, and there was a pulley on top of the transaxle, which there is, but you got another belt driving it, and I'm sure that's how they get the ranges out of it. All right, so what, you know, the way I did it is I figured out to do it is this spring here holds tension on the belt. Okay, so this pivots right in here. This bolt here is the pivot for this arm, and this holds that belt tight. And you know, as this, you know, as the gap between this pulley closes, it pulls the belt out, and this spring is what allows that to happen. It keeps the belt tight, but it allows it to move. As this gets higher in the belt gets higher in this groove, it'll go faster. It changes the ratio. So so to give myself some slack, you know, it's hooked right here, you know, and you can, you know, hook it from the outside, or if I can do it, I did the first one with my fingers. I did, if I can, well, it's hard to do with one hand. I had actually just, the first time, pulled it off my hand like that. Okay, and that allows this to move, and it gives you slack here. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up top and show you. Let me get up from underneath here. We'll go up top and see. I'll show you the top side. Okay. So, you know, let me, I don't know if I can get you set down here. I want you to be able to see. I don't want to drop the camera. Okay, I think you can see right there. So, all right, and then once we get underneath the seat here, you take your, and this one's 3/8 and 7/16, and you loosen that, and I always put these back together, so I either won't lose them or I'll lose them together, one or the other. And to be honest with you, actually what I do, and I should have done it with that on, I usually do this. Because if anybody's going to lose something, it's going to be me. I can lose something and not even move from where I'm standing. It's a thing I've worked on. It took me 64 years to perfect it. But okay, once you get that off, then you remove your little spring here and put that where you can't lose it. Then you take the battery out. Okay, and once you get the battery out, you got these little, there's a glare on my screen here, I can't see what I'm pointing at. I want to make sure you see what I'm looking at here. Yeah, I guess you can see it. Okay, these little straps support the battery. And you just take them out. Another one. Okay. Now, let me see. I might need get a light down there. I want to make sure you can see what I'm looking at. What do I do with my flashlight? See, I told you. Ah. All right. Let me get you oriented here. Actually, maybe I'll just take you off of the little tripod I've got here. Bear with me. Maybe I'll edit this out, or maybe I'll make you suffer through it. I haven't decided yet. All right, I'm going to get you down in here. Hopefully you can see. Let's see if I can get a light. Okay. All right. There's the idler pulley where I just took the spring off from, that holds that tight. There's that, like I said, I do believe that's a variable pulley for different speeds. There's that. And then the pulley that actually drives the transaxle. All right, and you can get the belt off of that and the belt off of that, but the belt on this, it is right up against the frame. There's very little clearance between the frame again. I'm not sure what you're seeing back in there. There's very little, there's not enough room to get that belt out of there. So what you have to do is take this pulley off. And of course, you see where they located. You can't get like an impact gun or your socket, just a ratchet wrench on there. So what I did is, on this one at least, that's a 22 millimeter nut that's on there. This is 22 millimeter out of a toolkit for a Yamaha. But you just take and loosen that up with your 22 millimeter. Long-winded. There we go. Take that off. Okay. And you can slip that pulley up off of there. Take the belt off of that. Take the belt off of that. And you can take the belt out. Okay, there's that. Okay, and then you come back down to underneath here. That's the one belt. I might have to put you back on the little stand here. You got a little tripod I've been sitting you on. Might have to stick you back on here. This is probably a waste of time. All right, that's enough. That's good enough. Okay. Once you get back down here, let me get you. Okay. See that? All right. So I got the clutch disengaged in. You should be able, you see this part moves. You should be able to work that belt out of there. I hope. There we go. All right. Once you get that popped up off of there, what do we got on the other side? Yeah, there's another guide. Okay, there we go. All right, got that off. All right, now we got to address the front. Let me get around here. All right. You've got this thing here, and you've got a bolt up in there, which is, what is it, ½ inch? Yeah, it's a ½ inch. Take that off with your wrench, and then pull it out of that hole over there. Okay, and now what you need to do is be able to get it out of here. Okay, and I know there are some people that say, well, all you gotta do is bend them away and you can pull that belt right out of there. You don't have to do nothing but bend that. Then once you put the new belt on, you bend it right back. Well, I don't do that. You take a 5/8 socket and you take this bolt out. Okay, and it is tight, so I loosened it with the Ugga gun, but for demonstration purposes, I've got my 5/8 ratchet here, and hopefully not going to knock you over or break anything. Yep. Sorry about that. Maybe I tightened that. Seems like I did. Maybe I did. There we go. So you can slide this down, take that off, and there you go. We got our drive, our they call it the lower transmission drive belt. The other one was the upper transmission drive belt. Okay, so that's how you get them off. I mean, it's not that hard, and to put it on is just reverse. I'm not going to show you that. It's just the opposite. To put it back on, not going to waste the time. But that's how you get the lower transmission belt and upper transmission belt off of this style. Like I said, I'd never seen it before. Maybe you have, but I just wanted to make sure that there was a video out there of how to get the two different belts off. This is a little addendum. When I was putting this back together, when I was putting this belt in here, there just wasn't enough room to get this belt in between, the pulley and that little guide right there. And obviously, because the belt is thicker, so only thing I had to do, ½ inch socket, took that bolt out. That pulley assembly just slides right up. Put the new belt in there, drop that pulley back down there, put the bolt back in. And the only other thing was over here, when I took this spring out, I took it off with my hand, and you can see, the new belt that's not stretched. I couldn't just reach over there and pull that back on there. So what I did, so I took this hook, reached in through that hole right there, grabbed the spring, pulled it right back out, and hooked it on. Worked really well. So, so I said, when you're in, as far as up front here, I'd pulley off and just put the belt back on, put the new belt on, bolted the pulley back on there. Back here, take that bolt out, slide that pulley up, put your belt on, drop that pulley back down there, put your bolt back on, use some sort of a hook device, grab that spring, hook it back in that hole, and down the road you go. So I just didn't want to leave you hanging and have you run across that problem. So that's how you fix that. So if you would like and subscribe, thumbs up, I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video.